The only people pleasers are pleasing is themselves. Welcome back to this week's episode of Positively Pink and Psychological with your host, Miss Sugar Pink. What I mean by the intro is I feel people pleasers are selfish. And maybe that's really blunt and really rude of me to say that, but that's what I feel. Deep down to my core, that's what I feel. And the reality is because I used to be a people pleaser. But when you're a people pleaser, you're only making decisions to make yourself feel better. You're thinking, oh, I want this person to be happy with me. I'm making all these, oh, that's just stressing me out. Oh my gosh, what are they doing? I don't know why they're doing this. So that's stressing me out because I don't know why they're doing that. But it's your feeling that you want to fix. A lot of the times, people pleasers don't actually please people. They're pleasing themselves. They're making themselves feel better. I think about this coworker I used to have who used to say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, all of the time. All of the time. I'm sorry for taking up space. I'm sorry I was in your way. I'm sorry I was doing this. Is what it was constant, 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 constant. And it was not pleasing to be around. You're so worried about everybody else, but you're really only trying to make yourself feel better. You're so insecure. You're so in need of validation and reassurance to be there that you're okay, that it's okay. We want you here. You're happy. You're doing well. You're doing great. You're so in your head that anytime someone says anything, you're like, sorry, what? Sorry, what did you say? I'm sorry, what? Oh, sorry, I'm in your way. But the reality is nobody's thinking about you that hard. You can release yourself of that because you're actually causing more harm apologizing 900 times or pleasing everybody because you're not being a human being anymore. If you're friends with a people pleaser, you're not friends with a person. You're friends with an idea of a person, a promise of a person, nothing. You're not friends with anybody. You're friends with this concept of I'm sorry, okay, because they won't snap out of it. And I have so much what's the word? Like pity for people pleasers because it's a mindset that you can just change. And everyone gets so mad when I say these kind of things. Oh, well, this. Oh, well, I have been there. I was probably worse than you were. I was so unhappy. I was constantly so unhappy. I was finding myself to be more unhappy. I was making myself feel unhappy because I felt like I deserved it. The the learned helplessness and all these different problems of being a people pleaser and growing up with a harder life and having parents with all parental problems and having no friends and having a friend that was bad and all these different things and dealing with bad men and dealing with bad boys and bad all these different things. There's constantly having bad boyfriends, having bad friends, having bad family, making yourself feel like it, not having mentors, not having figures in your life, just constantly being on your own, constantly thinking about things and not having any guidance. I was scared and I was alone and I was just this pitiful person because you probably could have slapped my face and I would have turned another cheek and you could have slapped the other one. I literally felt like that's what I deserved. I felt that's who I was. I felt that I was doing better because if I was people pleasing, then I was making other people happy. So that means I was going to be happy because those people were going to like me. So I was going to like myself. But the reality is that's not true. Nothing about that statement is true. Nothing about that is going to make you feel better. Nothing about that. Unless you change yourself about how you feel about yourself. I joke a lot that in high school that nobody liked me until I dyed my hair pink. But the reality is nobody liked me until I started liking myself. Until I dyed my hair pink and I was like, wait, I see a trajectory. Like I see my life trajectory and I see what I could be if I let myself. And that's when people started to like me, when I started feeling comfortable with who I was. I was still fucking unhappy. I was still miserable. I was still doing all these different problems and I still had problems for years after that. But I was taking a step into the right direction. I had some liberation and I was letting myself be a human being. And that's what people liked. It wasn't the fact that it wasn't because my hair was pink. It was what the pink hair stood for. And I just think about these people who have terrible work-life balances because they're constantly, well, my boss needs me, so I have to say yes. I have to do this because, but the thing is, nobody thinks about you that hard. Nobody. Like, your partner shouldn't even think about you that hard because your partner should have life and like life goals and like promises to keep and dreams. Like they should be like, like what I'm trying to say is it's okay to say no and you're going to be more respected if you do. And it's okay to disagree with people. That's a good thing. There are people you should disagree with. You should disagree with rapists and racists and homophobic people. You should. Those people should hate me. I hope they do. I don't agree with anything that they say. I hope that rapists hate me because I hate them. Like, that sounds crazy. It sounds so outrageous for me to say that, but you have to think about it that way. I want people to hate me. I want ICE to hate me. I hate ICE. I think all of that is fucking crazy. I hope they hate me. I hope they look at me and they think, ugh, because I look at them and I think, ugh. And when you let yourself feel that way, when you release yourself of this idea that people have to like you, you become somebody. Because when you're thinking so much about what other people think, everybody else is doing the same thing, and it's just like you're not anybody anymore. You're just a thing. That's why things get sold to you so easily. That's why you sit on your phone so much. That's why you don't have hobbies. That's why you don't have goals, because you're so worried about what other people are doing and following the trend that you're not even finding your own habits. Like, so yeah, you're an overconsumer because you're following what everyone else is getting. You're not buying anything good. So yeah, you are broke because you're spending so much money on fashion and clothes when you don't need to, when you could just find what you like and keep it. It's like all these problems are all can go back to this one thing if people just thought about it. But it's easier to find blame on something else than it is to yourself. And the reality situation is women are hated in society and we cause a lot of problems. Not because, excuse me, we get blamed for a lot of problems that are like not caused by us, and we then therefore cause other problems because we have internalized misogyny and all these different problems. But it's like you have to wake up. You have to wake up because people like Trump are in office because you won't wake up, because you're a sheep, because you're listening to what other people are saying, and you're so worried about people pleasing. You're so worried about anything that you're not doing anything. You're just a mirror. You're just a mirror. And look, it happens to me too. Today I went to my floor play class. It was a dance class, and I went and I was like, oh, these other people. And this one girl was like really dressed up, and she had a really cute skimpy outfit, and I really liked it. And I was like, wow, she's so much confidence. So she's gonna be so much better at this. But then when I was watching her, she had to think about every move, just like I had to think about every move. Because everybody's thinking about themselves, and there was no point for me to beat myself up thinking, oh, I'm not going to be as good as that person over there. Because when I did see the reaction, she looked exactly like me. She was dancing like me. She was thinking about every next move she had to do just like me. Because it's an intro to dance class. Everybody is wherever they want to be. You're supposed to be having fun. I spent money for me to have fun, not go and like stress myself out. So I released myself of it, and I had so much more fun because I stopped caring. I stopped thinking about it. And it's so easy to say, oh, stop caring what people think, but put it in practice. Put it in practice. When someone says a mean joke to you, just look at them. You could go home and cry about it later, but in that moment, just look at them. Make them think about what they just said, because I guarantee you they won't do it to you again. The amount of times that people have been like, oh, you're so sensitive, I just go, yeah, I am. And they get so uncomfortable because that silence makes them think about themselves. So the reason people are mean is because they're upset with themselves. So don't be like that. Don't be part of the problem where you're so in your head because you're worried about other people think that you're then doing the same thing to other people. You're being mean to other people because you feel like it, because it makes you feel better. Just exist and free yourself so that you can make your own opinions and you can make your own choices. Watch that fucking TikTok and come up with your own opinion before you look at the comments. Do practice, like, please practice little things like that, because it just blows my mind how you try to talk to people and people have no opinions on anything. And look, I don't like politics. However, that's our life, especially right now. That's our life right now. You need to have a stance on politics. Otherwise, you're being ignorant. And I live in a lot of ignorant bliss. I'm going to be really honest. I don't know everything that's happening in the history, but I know a basic concept because that's what brings me comfort. If I know any bit more, then I get stressed and I get panicked, and that's my line. But you need to have an opinion, because this, whatever they like, oh, I don't know, whatever they need, oh, whatever they think, oh, what do you think? And then like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. No, let people hate you. Walk away from that and let it make you stronger. People look at me and they're like, oh wow, you're so blunt. And I think that people say that without realizing about how it's a very, what's a backhanded compliment. Oh, you're so blunt, Karina. And that's okay. That's okay. Because that's who I am to them. And if that's who I am to them, then there's nothing that I'm gonna do to change that. They're always gonna think that I'm blunt, Karina. And that's okay. Because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they're going to go think about whatever thing they're going to do. Because I'm constantly thinking about, oh, I need to do this. Okay, then I'm going to do this because really like utilizing my time to the fullest. I like taking every little chance to get to go do this and I go do that. And then I'm like, oh, so I'm constantly doing something. And I find myself recently like going on my phone again and I'm like, get off it. So I deleted things because I need to get off of it. And you know what? That's gonna lead to some uncomfortable conversations. And for me, that's where I kind of lean up, where I don't like when it comes to references, I tend to just go, oh yeah, I just like go on with it because it's just easier than be like, oh, I don't know what that is. But when it comes to true hard beliefs of who you are, you need to have an opinion. You need to have a personality because I hate to say it, but I can't tell you how many times over the years, like over my life, I've tried to make a present for someone because I like don't really like giving presents. I try to make a present for somebody and I just don't know what to make them. And granted, there's a few exclusions to that where it's my own like freaking out, but some of them were just because I didn't know what to make them. They don't have opinions on anything. They don't have passions or love, and especially it's changed now as we've gotten older, but especially in college, like I really didn't know what to make people because they were just there. Like they were my friends that were joking around, but like they were just there. And granted that could be a bias of who I was the same at the point where I was very people pleasy at that time. So the friends I had were not really good friends. And so there's layers to that. But I just I don't know. I just have been thinking a lot about it because you need to have a work life balance and you need to have goals and you need to have a dream and you need to have many dreams and you just need to try. You just need to try because I actually recently had a professor basically asked to be my mentor because she was listening to me talk about my life goals and she goes, you're afraid but you're still willing to do it. She's like I talk to so many students and they're asking for advice or they're asking for letters of recommendation and it's like me I feel wary about it, red flaggish because they don't even believe in themselves. They're saying these things that they don't believe. They get so scared that they talk themselves out of it, that they don't ever do anything. But she's like, but you're scared and you're gonna go do it anyways. And she's like, that's why I feel comfortable. That's why I feel like I want to write you. She's like, I will write you the most amazing letter of recommendation to help you get into whatever you want because I believe in you. And that's because I'm doing it scared, which is such a small thing, but what a huge impact if you just start doing things scared because now I'm doing things with hope. I'm moving out this summer and I have hope for it because I have taken so many steps to do things scared and now I'm doing it with hope because every tiny little step I took where I started to have opinions and I started saying them and I started disagreeing with people and I started leaving people to reflect on what they told me. Yeah, maybe I am a bitch. If you think I'm a bitch, that's fine. Because if that's what you think, then we were never going to agree. We were never going to get along in the first place. We were never going to be friends, anyways. If you think that me drawing a line and me having a personality is me being a bitch, that's okay. Because I'm not going to get along with everybody. And I have a very strong personality and a very hard headed mind. And I'm not going to get along with everybody. And I'm going to do my best to be nice to everybody I can. But if you're being a bitch, I'm going to be a bitch back to you. I'm gonna I say that, but I'm literally like the nicest bitch. I call myself a bitch, and people are like, "Girl, come on, you're not." She's like, "You're being so nice," and I'm like, "Yes," but I just, I am just very sure of myself, and I want you to get there too because it took me years to get here. I wasn't like this. I didn't wake up like this. This nothing about this was in my nature. Nothing about this was all how I nurtured myself was to get up every day and cry in the open and let people feel like think about that and tell people no and stuff like that. But like just start small. If someone makes you the butt of the joke or makes you uncomfortable, call them out on it. In that moment, call them out on it. And then if you have to go cry about it later, then go cry about it later. Who cares? Who cares? But you need to start feeling so sure about yourself that you're able to disagree with people because when you can start doing that, you can start finding the people that actually support you, who are actually there for you, and who you're actually there for yourselves. And then because you're starting to feel more sure about yourself, more people are going to gravitate you. Be like, oh, hey, do you want to talk about stuff? You want to do this? Because how the hell are you gonna love somebody else if you can't love yourself? Okay, literally, like I feel so passionate about this because people pleasers think that they're doing so much more, but it's all in their head. It's all in their head. None of it is real. It's all fake. You're making everything harder for yourself. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, please, wake up, wake up. I woke up. You can wake up too. Please get out of it. Get out of it while you still can, please, because I don't want to hear about how you're a liberal girl and your boyfriend's a Republican. He doesn't respect you. He doesn't respect you. Okay, you're not. Oh, so different. Oh, you're so cool. Oh, you're a people pleaser. You understand? No, you're letting them walk all over you. You're a doormat. Wake up, please. I say this with so much love, but I need you to wake up, please, because I can't listen to another person throw their life away or give up because they're scared of what someone else is going to think because someone else said this, and it's like, you know what, just prove them wrong, just prove them wrong. And I'm saying this as someone who's grown from starting this podcast to now. Within what, 8 weeks, I am even more sure of myself than when I started, because it's just taking a step every day and being mindful about how you are, who you are, and how you interact with people. Because I am constantly, maybe this is me, I constantly think about myself from a third perspective. I constantly think about how what I did and how I did and why I feel that way. And maybe it's the psychology education and the lack of personality I had in high school while I was taking a psychology education has maybe lead to live very logically. I don't think very emotionally. I definitely can, but I think very logically and rationally a lot of the time. And I think about myself and think, why do I feel this way? And I especially have gotten there. Over the years, I definitely have gotten to this point, and I'm very happy with where I am now. But I'm like, wow, this just happened to me. Like how I talked about last episode where I said, oh, when I saw the figure skater win and she was talking about her mindset, and I immediately was like, oh, and it felt me with envy. I was like, why? Why was that my initial reaction? And I sat and I thought about it, because that's an important thing to think about, is thinking about why you react the same way and react some way. And I took all these little steps and I started thinking more logically and I started thinking more productively, and opportunities are falling in my lap because I'm actually accepting them as possibility. I'm not just no, I can't do this. No, I can't move out. I can't do this because it's better to do this. No, no. You know what? I thought about it clearly and I become very aware. Yes, I would save more money if I stayed at home and I went to a community college nearby and I just destroyed my card doing that and I got the housing stipend and I pocketed all that money. Or I can do something that I've dreamed and I have cried about missing, a college experience. I could have a college experience. It's right there. And I could talk myself out of it and go this way. Or I can believe in myself and I can just do it. If you're a people pleaser, you would get so worried about, well, oh, I don't want to leave my parents alone because, oh, I'm the last kid here. So if I move out, then they're going to be alone. Or, oh, my mom would have to help me with this. Or I'm going to have to, oh, I need help people to help move me. Oh, that's really hard asking for people to move. Everyone hates moving stuff. Or I'm going to be an hour away from my best friend. So she's not going to want to come see me because that's going to be really hard to ask her to come see me. I can't do this because if I move up there, then what if I fail again? Because I already failed before. And if I fail again, then that's just gonna be really embarrassing. I'm gonna have to move back home, and you know, my boyfriend. I'd be moving with my boyfriend. What if I like? Oh, like no, you don't have to think like that. I think that it takes everybody just a wake up call, and nothing I say is gonna change what you think. But I really, really, really hope you keep it in the back of your mind, because I think that I have the capacity to change your mind if you let me. So just think about it, and be here next week. I'll stay sweet.